few minutes to warm up everything. You are live.
Hey-o. Feel naked without my hat. If my head technically is naked. Right?
Sure.
Don't
It
have-
is.
Shave my head down.
Yeah, you need to shave your head.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. We're waiting for Joann.
Good morning.
The show will not start without her.
I was late and unprepared. What can I
No,
say?
you're not. We're stacked up so high. Can you see?
Do we need a
Do
step
I,
stool?
We
do
need to
I need to stand on my
Don't
toes?
worry, we're going to move all this for you.
Oh my goodness, but it's all cool. Oh,
It's pretty,
I
isn't
hate
it?
this. My least favorite day of the week because it's always like there's all this fabric and I think I need all of that.
I know. We're just shoving it right in your face, too.
And it's right here like meat pie.
Literally. Yeah. Oh. I was like, something's missing.
Okay. Did you find it?
I don't know how I did. There's a gigantic phone in my pocket. How did I miss that? No, but I need to be able to see who's on there. For some reason in my mind, like I'm talking to no one unless I can see names. It's a weird mental thing.
I
Well, you
see.
have 4 people watching.
4 people.
Oh, well, hello,
Oh, man.
4 people.
Let's step our game up. Tris, good morning.
Morning, Triff.
You're
Good
such
morning.
a loyal watcher.
She
Thank you.
is. She wakes up early. What's the time difference? I've asked before. 3 hours? Yeah.
So where are you that it's 3 hours difference?
Idaho.
Idaho.
Okay.
That's right. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Christy. Says 6 people, but the only downfall is if and you could see it probably, Tony. Let me know if somebody on YouTube is actually watching. I don't think we get much interaction on YouTube yet, but we'll get
Yet.
there. Yet,
I-
keyword yet. That's right.
I think my husband lurks. You know, he doesn't really watch. He doesn't sign in or anything. He just sort of lurks on there.
That's
All those
good. Good morning,
stalkers.
Jennifer. You know what's so funny is I get it all the time. You know, a couple will walk in and the husband's usually walking around by himself. I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, hey. I was like, can I help you? He's like, nah, I'm with her. He's like, but I hear your voice in my dreams. Like they'll be driving and somebody will be watching this or listening to something I've done. And I'm
Oh,
like,
how funny.
I'm so sorry. That It's great though. We appreciate the support.
Maybe you should hand out earphones. To loyal
Earbuds for
yeah.
men.
Mhm.
That's a good one. Marketing 101. That's genius.
Say hi to Lee.
Josh blockers.
Josh
what it's called?
Jeez.
JP, that's good. Good morning, Louise. All right. So, what in the world do we got going on today?
Thumbs up and hearts. And share.
Thank you. This is like Facebook, YouTube, Live 101, and I always forget. Thumbs up and hearts do wonders for us. So basically, you guys are awesome. You support us. You interact. We love it. But simply clicking the little heart button down on the bottom right, thumbs up, whatever you want, that actually sends the Facebook algorithms out to other people, and we can get more watchers that way.
Really?
And I
Okay.
always forget to mention it.
And
So
share.
and
All
share.
right, so
Yeah,
Chuck,
yeah.
if you're watching, thumbs up or a heart, whichever you want.
That's right. Well, right on cue. Look at all the hearts. I love it. And thumbs up. You guys are awesome. Good morning, Deanna. Good morning, Char. Hey, Char.
Shar, we haven't seen you for a while.
I know.
Welcome. You've been traveling, so welcome back.
Oh, well, I hope you had awesome, safe travels. When are you coming back? Is she back? Are you back?
I think she's back.
Well, welcome back. Awesome. Yeah, we haven't seen you in a while. We've been rocking and rolling though. Halloween, that whole month was a blur. And then we had our 2-year anniversary kind of week, which was amazing. The cake lasted 4 days. It's gone. No, it's gone.
It
We
was
actually-
really good too. So if you missed the cake, you missed cake. It was good.
And it was a big cake, like a sheet cake.
Mhm.
It said like feed 80 people. I was
So
like,
did you hand out pieces of cake as people came in?
I tried. I can't force cake on anybody, but I'd be like,
Shouldn't have
hey,
to.
how are you? Welcome. You want cake?
We
Like
got
that,
cake.
that was the first thing we said. Hey, eat the cake. So good morning, Linda. Thank you all. Yes, yesterday. All right. Fantastic. Welcome back. Look forward to seeing you. So the 2-year anniversary was amazing. Good morning, Cindy. And thank you for everyone that came and did the cake cutting ceremony with us. That was super special and awesome. And hopefully you got to take advantage of the 30% off fabric sale. Holy cow. We
Holy
sold
cow.
some fabric and the shelves are leaning, that's what we wanted. I mean, totally, because we need to make room for all this new stuff coming in. It's funny. Tamara's our kind of fabric
Arranger.
Ranger organizer. and she ran out of places to put stuff. So
Yeah, I kind of came in today and I thought Tamara's been at work again.
yeah, we actually
Can't
took the
find my
Halloween
stuff.
stuff down and put it in the classroom. And then, of course, on Saturday, everybody wanted Halloween. Psyched, of course.
Mhm.
But we're not going to keep the Halloween out all year, but we will have Halloween all year, if that makes sense.
So what do they do if they come in and for some reason
Ask
want
us for
Halloween?
the Halloween. Yeah, it's on that rack right there. You can see it. We can roll it out for you.
Oh,
Get a step
okay.
stool or whatever.
That's handy.
Yeah, good morning, Barbara. By the way, I got your message. We were having dinner. My apologies, but I will respond to you.
Okay.
All
What
right.
else? What's all this?
Look at this
awesome
gigantic
fabric?
machine. Okay, let's start with that then. So again, thank you for the 2 years. We are just getting started. I'll be honest with you. We got lots of plans and lots of ideas. Next year is going to be, the end of this year is going to be insane. It's going to be awesome. And the next year is going to be even more awesome and more insane, if you can imagine that.
Here, let me-
Speaking of awesome and insane, woo! This is Sue Penn. Is that
Yes.
right? Yeah, Sue
Mhm.
Penn's new line. I can't read it backwards. Butterfly Kisses. Is that what it? Oh, it's right in front of me.
It's
Textures.
just amazing.
Oh, it's actually okay. So we got two different kind of combinations, but they work really well together. Sue Penn Textures and Sue Penn Butterfly Fields. Yeah, Kisses Fields. It's got a giant butterfly on it.
It's got a
Can't
giant
miss it.
butterfly, and for you who used to be young, they've got jacks on it too.
That's right. I just love her painterly style. It's super artsy, and
Now, is
the
this
colors are
considered
wild.
a panel or is this?
No, it's running yardage.
Mhm.
So it is not a panel. In fact, grab that bolt right there for me. You can see it's just running yardage. So we
this
cut
is
it. We basically cut it so that you can see, because on the bolt it doesn't do it justice.
Mhm.
Well, it also goes from light to dark. So we got a light.
It fades. Yeah.
I was wondering about that because it seemed really dark. Let's see that. So we can put this back.
Sure. And then we have some really, so this is part of the textures, but again, texture is the key word. It is, I just love the brush strokes.
That is beautiful.
You know what I'm thinking? Actually, I think, is this bottom on textures?
Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like it.
What's the date on? Did we just get those in, or we had those and we just happened to grab them because they look
Look new to me, but
November
that's not the
4th?
same as
Okay,
this.
they came together. That means I know what I'm doing. Ew. Fake it till you make it. That's what I always say. All right. And this is the Butterfly Fields.
It's an interesting fabric.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. Shadows of butterflies in it.
It's very busy. So mixed with those two textures, or something a little less wild, I think it'd be really nice. And this one actually is possibly one of my favorites. I love that.
It's lime green behind the pink there.
Yeah. Pink and lime green.
Does this go from light to dark too?
Looks like it does. One of the things, and you can always ask us, but feel free when you're here, because a lot of these fabrics, it's almost like an ombre, and you can't see it on the bolt. So I always encourage people, you're not, you're more than welcome to take the pin out. Be careful, but look at it, because sometimes you just can't see. And we try our best to cut, running yardage of the ones that do show that, but honestly, there's so much fabric. So this is Wildflower, right? Yes. And this is Stephanie. I always forget her last name, and I love her. Brandenburg.
It's the same person who did
So
Yes.
these are the newest panels that we got in. This is actually a huge cheater quilt, which is absolutely stunning. And then we've got a large quilt of this that's going to be quilted soon. But she's got two colorways and two different types of flowers. This is a blue bonnet, and what is that? Poppy?
No,
No,
that
that's
one-
poppy.
that looks like a sunflower.
I don't know my flowers. That's a red one. That's a blue one. But we are obsessed with Stephanie. Luckily, we got to meet her at Daytona. And we actually ran out of, if you remember that triptych, what was it, 3? I think it's hanging over my bed. Literally, I loved it. But
Oh yeah. Mhm.
yeah, I think Maria did the top. It was 2 panels, but anyway, it was gorgeous. And we ran out of the panel, and we went over to her booth and got some more, and then sold out of those. So I know people love her stuff, rightfully so. She's an amazing designer.
She has my favorite booth in the whole show. She, if you go to most booths, they're all neatly arranged and everything's in its place and everything's perfect. When you go to her booth, it looks like my sewing room. I mean, things are just thrown all over the place. She can find everything, but
organized confusion.
Organized confusion. That is a great word
Yeah.
for it.
Good morning, Linda.
But her work is just incredible.
Yeah, she's awesome. You could tell she's an artist, and I love that. I'm drawn to artwork. I mean, colors obviously are the first thing that grab my attention when we get this new fabric, but I'm real picky when it comes to some of the artwork. Mm-hmm. Every once in a while, something will come in, and I'm like, huh. Was I drinking that day? Like, I don't know why. Like we got tractors in. Now that was a mistake. I'll be honest with you. There's no way that I ordered the tractors, but we've had a couple of people come in and ask for tractors. So
there you go.
We got it just for you.
Yeah.
Now up in Louisville, Indiana, sure. Down in Florida, not so much.
Yeah, there's not much farming going on.
Know your audience. I think it was it was like a tractor, a cow.
Horses.
Oh, horses. Well, horses, I get that.
Horse country.
Yeah, horses is okay. We'll let that one go. No, unicorn would be cooler. Just saying. Which is a horse with a horn.
Unicorns are more California.
Yeah, unicorns everywhere. You're saying we're not majestic enough down here in Palm Coast?
I'm saying you're not stupid enough.
That's hilarious.
Sorry.
Sorry to her. She said it, not me. I do not condone. That's so funny. We love
so embarrassed.
No, don't. We love California. Okay, wait. Before I go there, hold on. Let's see. So, yeah, okay. We did the fabric. We talked about thank you for the 2-year anniversary classes. So I don't have any samples, but we have kind of slacked off a little on promoting classes the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because we've had so much going on in the shop. Our calendar's still full and rocking. So cutupandsew.com. That's how you register. Come in and see us. Call, however you want to do it. We will happily help you sign up or answer any questions. We are filling classes quickly. So Tony, good thing pointing this out. If you go to register for a class and it's full, there's a little, I guess it's a little tab underneath it that will allow you to click and be added to the wait list. That helps us for 2 things. A, if somebody cancels, we can reach out to you, but also it lets us know if we should offer it again sooner than later. Like we had the witch's hat 3 times. You know? Yeah. So the rope bowl class is full. It's this week, I think. Mm-hmm. And it was full. And I know people are going, oh, I really wanted to take that. Well, if you sign up or if you get on that wait list, it lets us know. Also, just let us know. Mm-hmm. So classes, our classroom's only so big. Mm-hmm. So I wish we could say, no, 20 people, but also I like smaller classes. I always have. Even if we could fit 20, I wouldn't want 20 for every class.
It's hard to manage 20 people.
It's that you get less one-on-one time, less questions answered. And for teachers, educators, yeah, it makes it way more difficult. So I like a small, quaint, cozy environment anyway. But that wait list could help us. Dress a Girl. Woo, woo. This Saturday.
Cool.
Sewing for Charity Month. So Saturday, we usually do from 10 to 3, I think. Sometimes we'll go till 4, but we've been able to knock enough out that I think we're going to stick 10 to 3 probably. We're not going to kick anybody out. But so Dress the Girl Around the World is this month's charity sewing event. And we did it.
Doing pillowcase dresses?
I think so.
Yeah.
Are they called pillowcase dresses or potato sack dresses? I've heard something else. Yeah. Okay. So very simple. Now, Dana's awesome. So you will have kits, which is great. So all you need to do is bring yourself and a positive attitude, because we will have kits. And if you don't want to bring your machine, we are more than happy to let you borrow one of ours. Of course, if you like sewing on yours, feel free to bring it. Please do register, because it just gives us an idea of how many people are coming. And again, you can call us, sign up on the website, stop in, same thing. Dress the Girl's a really cool organization. We did it once, if not twice. Have we only done it once?
It's a very fun thing to do.
It is.
And it's fun to make these dresses. And I know some of the ones I saw last year were just as cute as they could be, but they're very simple in construction. So you can make a couple, you'll be able to make a few in a short period of time. And it's just a really, I'm sure that the person who's in charge of it can tell you where these dresses are going and why they're going there. And it's a very needed and moving thing.
It is. They're an awesome organization, and I don't know. It seems like they've been around for a long time, doing a lot of good. So I'm happy to be a part of it. The dresses, you touched on something. A lot of people think that it's a difficult. They hear dress, and they're like, I'm not a garment sewer. You don't need to be.
No,
it is.
The ones I made were, they were based on a pillowcase dress where you just take a pillowcase and you cut it up, but you can use your own yardage if you want. You put a little a casing at the top, put ribbon through that, and it ties here on the shoulders and makes just a cute little dress. So you're not putting in sleeves, you're not doing any kind of gussets, you're not putting buttons or zippers or anything like that. It's just a really cute thing.
Yeah, and there are some countries that frown upon the sleeveless, and so they actually pair them with little t-shirts so that they can wear the t-shirt to be covered.
Yeah, and I think they send t-shirts and underwear with it too.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know for sure. In fact, I usually try to go live, but we'll go live and talk to Dana and the crew and give you guys some more information. We could always be a drop off for that as well. Of course, Project Linus, Ryan's Case for Smiles. I'll find out the requirements, or if there's anything, if you'd like to make them on your own, in other words.
Yeah, it would be a good idea to maybe have a pattern, because I think all you
and
need is
one,
the measurements. Yeah. And if you have a pattern, people can come in and grab a pattern and then bring some back.
I'll make sure to ask on Saturday. So I'm excited about that. So sign up if you've got some time. We love it. You guys are amazing for our charity sewing parties. Thanksgiving hours were closed the day before Thanksgiving and on Thanksgiving.
But Black Friday, you're open.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. So Black Friday is not what it used to be, though, right? I remember,
because it goes on from October.
I know.
Through.
You already see it's Black, like we're late to the game technically. But speaking of which, we're not late because we're just starting it today.
Okay.
Our Black Friday sale starts today. So we'll send out some information and stuff.
The Kool-Aid.
Totally. You have to. It's amazing. I used to love going, and we'd open it like 6 a.m. and there'd be a line of people for vacuums, like for vacuum cleaners. And then like the next year it was like a dude. And then the next year, nobody. So we opened later. And then it was like the month. And then it was, I don't know. I feel like you just, with the cyber world, you just can't compete with if you just do Black Friday. So I'm not going to talk about that too much, but you'll see posts coming very soon, and you'll get an email about all of our Black Friday sales and our new machines sales, which I'm going to talk about that for 1 minute in a minute.
Okay.
So, but Thanksgiving, just remember the day before and on Thanksgiving will be closed, but then other than that, business as usual.
Okay.
We got another giveaway. Janome is awesome. Can they see that okay on the camera?
It's the reflection.
Yeah, I know. So we did this not that long ago, actually. Janome did this, I should say, and we participated. They were giving away a Janome loft, and there's well over 400 dealers, and they only gave out 10, and our very own Sam was one of the winners. It's incredible. So they decided do it again, and this is the season of giving. So the idea of this, which is really cool, is all you have to do, just like before, come in, scan this QR code, and that will let you register to win. There's no fine print. It doesn't cost anything. But what's cool is they're actually doing a double. So you can get 2 machines, and the idea is you get 2 machines, and then you can hopefully gift one.
That's really cool.
Nice.
Unless you're super selfish and just want to keep both of them, we will not judge you. But it would be awfully nice if, you know what I mean, if you're a winner, you were able to give one of these machines. I think that's the idea of the season of giving. And I love it. I love that they're doing that. And I'll be honest with you, these 2 that they have here, the Skylines, those are nice machines. The Loft was a great machine, but these have a lot more bells and whistles. So I'm kind of surprised they did that.
What's your distance in?
Throat space, top of your head.
So it's a
9 point
size.
something,
yeah.
I think.
It's a little bit bigger than not as big as like this,
No,
but
no.
Nothing
But
as big as
It's
this.
bigger than a traveling machine.
okay.
Yeah, it is borderline classroom machine because they got some weight to them because there's a lot of stitches and it's a nice machine. We don't have the 3 that's in the picture, but we have the 6 and the 7. 6. We have the 6 over there, but they're the same size, so you can come in and see it, which is nice. It looks like I don't even know, maybe you're going to get a choice of which machine you want. So you
Or
could technically get
accessories.
accessories. So you could technically get a classroom machine if you've got one of these that you can't pick up because they're humongous. But that's really cool. So we'll have this in the store. You do have to come into the shop to scan the code, though. It's the only rule that we have to follow.
Cool.
So no pausing and screenshot. I wonder if that would work.
Probably.
I didn't
It's
say
so
that.
fuzzy.
Don't try it. I didn't say it. I didn't say that. Okay, so before I talk about this sweet machine, Tris, you are missing your hat. Yes, I know. That's what I said. I feel naked, and then technically my head is naked. Nancy, good morning. Judy, good morning. Dana, good morning. Dawn, good morning. All right. I think that's everybody that I missed. So I'm excited about that. Now, I'm even more excited about this. You guys have probably heard of the Janome M7. We've talked about it before. Well, that's not around anymore because they have upgraded it big time to this insane machine. Is it fully on camera?
No.
Fully-ish. It's probably easier for you to move the camera than me to move the machine. The only downfall with this machine is that it is big, so you are not going to take it to class as much as you want to. Now, I've had people do it because they make trolleys, but this is called the M8, by the way, and it has 13.5 inches of throat space. It is the largest domestic machine on the market as far as throat space goes. It's also the fastest. It is insane. It's gorgeous. There we go. Wake up. The lighting is incredible. But the big thing, and this just came in, so I only have 2 of them. And before I talk about this, they do have an M6, which is really pretty because it's purple. Mm-hmm. We love it. But the M6 is a price point below this because it is not ASR compatible, which is sad face. But because this comes with this amazing tool, foot, whatever you want to call it. So for the longest time, and I've talked about this before, Bernina had the BSR. It comes in a nice case. I mean, they have done it well. And I liked the BSR a lot. Mm-hmm. I used it. I still use it. Well, I did still use it until this came out. Because I'll be honest with you, this stitch regulator is nicer. Sorry, Bernina folks. I love you. I love the BSR. But this is, you got to think they had years to tweak. Mm-hmm. And so they took what the BSR had done, and then in my opinion, they improved it. And it comes with 4 feet. So you got the open toe, the regular closed toe, the echoing, and the ruler attachment, or foot. So it's insane. And these are $9.99. I mean, these are not cheap. So you can get them with the 9480, but then you have to purchase this. It comes with the M8. Tony, you have an M7. Mm-hmm. I mean, so why should people get an M7 or M8? Excuse me. Like, what is it about that machine? Because you were a Janome gal, and you are, yeah.
I love the new threader, the needle threader.
Oh, good point. The threader is amazing. They've really upgraded the automatic threader here on the side. It's incredible. It's easy to thread.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And it's got that little gray knob that moves the needle left or right.
This here.
Mm-hmm.
So because this machine's so large, it is really hard to demo this. I'm going to make a video. In fact, I'm cleaning my office so that I can sit down and we can do like tutorial little demonstration videos, because that's one thing that we've been lacking. But you can't reach all the way over here to this hand wheel. It's difficult. It's far. Your hands are here. So with this thumb wheel right here, you can literally raise and lower the needle. So precise placement, which is a huge deal when your hands are here and you can just do this. Mm-hmm. And so with all these cheater buttons, the idea with a knee lift, with a foot control, you technically never have to move your hands anyway off of the, far from the fabric. This is a quilting machine for sure. It's a sewing machine. Like, don't get me, like, for you sewers, and a lot of people go, what's the difference? Mm-hmm. If I asked you, what's the difference between a sewing and quilting machine? And I'm not talking about a long arm. In your mind? Well, there's no wrong answer. For me, it's this.
Well, that would make a difference no matter what.
Sure.
Trying to think what's on my machine that makes it a quilting machine. I don't know.
Well, Berninas are pretty heavy on making their QEs, the quilting editions and things like that. And a lot of times it's what foot comes with it. Do you get a walking foot? Does it have the built-in dual feed, or in this case, Acu feed? And so all of those sewing machines don't have as many quilting features, attachments, accessories, space. And so because of the stitch regulator, I mean, that right there is free motion thread painting. If you're not familiar, if you don't understand what a stitch regulator is, imagine going super fast and then super slow, because we're not robots, so we're inconsistent, but all the stitches look the same. That's what a stitch regulator does. Your long arm has a stitch regulator, right? Yeah, the answer is yes. Just in case you didn't know. The answer is yes.
Once again,
But
I'm embarrassed.
You were just that good. You didn't know. But no, and truthfully, it makes it easier. So that's a huge feature that I'm waiting for them to add to the Solaris, to be honest with you, because that's the only thing that it's missing, in my opinion. But this machine came out and it is loaded. So easy wind bobbin. Gosh, there's so many features. Do you think if you push the button to lift this up, the camera would actually pick it up?
So I have a question to ask, and I know it's really stupid, but what's the difference between a stitch regulator and just having the even feed?
Well, even feed is like a walking foot.
Right, exactly.
But it doesn't regulate the stitches. So you could still go, I don't know if you just saw that. That was a magnetic, one button automatic.
Nice.
Took this off. No screwdrivers, no popping of anything. Incredible. Game changer. But so you got to think, if you, I don't know if the needle's up all the way, and it just snaps back on. It's awesome. So if you've got like a walking foot or a dual feed foot or an AccuFeed foot, you still manually control. I mean, for the most part, you're just supposed to let it naturally pull. But if you're free motion, mainly it's for free motion if you think about it. So because if you're going to control how fast or slow the fabric is moving, that's where this changes everything.
Now I understand. Okay, so
if you're just feeding it, excuse me, I got the sniffles, but if you're just feeding, like letting the machine do the work, which you should do, by the way, don't pull your fabric through, don't hang on to it. That's why needles bend and things break and get off the timing and all that. But if you are controlling the speed manually, that's where this changes everything. But sorry to cut you off, but as far as the dual feed goes, the built-in walking feet, it's so much better than if you add a walking foot, because what that does is it basically attaches to your needle bar. This is built in, so literally the machine is timing.
It's doing it
together. So the teeth on the top, teeth on the bottom are moving in sync, where the other one is a little bit click-clonk, depending how your needle's going up and down. Not at all the same.
So now when you have a, this is kind of off the subject, I think. When you have a sewing machine that has the even feed feature with it already built in, why do you need a walking foot with that?
You don't.
You would never
In fact,
that.
I don't even think you could put one on. Well, you might be able to, but you wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, because it's way better.
Okay.
So this is not a walking foot.
Right.
It is 100% for free motion, thread painting, for quilting. Ruler work, oh, that's a big one for ruler work. Because ruler work is, I have just started playing with ruler work. It is not that simple.
No,
because it
got a lot going on there.
You do, and you have to make sure the foot's butt up, butt it up, whatever, against the ruler. And so if it comes off, then it's wonky. And the whole point of ruler work is that it looks clean and crisp and neat, and it's
really
awesome.
Easy when you're doing a curve that you're looking at it and you're right along there, and all of a sudden you realize that somehow you're going straight and the ruler's going going in the curve. It takes a lot.
It does. And so because we're learning, you're going to go faster around a curve or straight. And so your stitches won't be the same. But with this, it would be.
Okay.
So
Good.
Speaking of which, we've got free motion classes in the works, ruler work classes in the works, applique classes in the works.
Awesome.
We hear you guys, and you're asking for it. We've done free motion before, but it's been long enough. So we got that coming because people are scared of it, but they want to do it.
Yeah.
So, and it's so much fun. And eventually we'll get some thread painting classes back in, but I think baby steps, as far as you need to be comfortable just hitting the pedal and going. People are afraid to just start. So I'm excited. So please come in, check this machine out. Feel free to play on it. It is amazing. The M6 is equally large, equally awesome. If this is not something, if you don't do free motion, if you never are going to do free motion, save some money. That's what the M6 exists for. And it's purple. It is really pretty.
Okay.
Like this is a machine that I could consider going, okay, I want one of these at home, but I would put the purple faceplate on it.
Yeah, and I'm seeing
You're not
more and
supposed to
more
do that,
people wanting to do their own quilting and being able to use their machine to do
Yeah,
that.
and with
So
this kind of throat space and
do
lighting
it.
and everything, yeah, you absolutely can.
now this doesn't have embroidery feature to it. It's
Nope.
just okay.
So
All
if you
right.
want the embroidery feature and this, that is the CM17, and it exists, and we have it here, so it is even bigger. But it is literally the same size as far as the sewing, the throat space and all that. Yeah, it's just it adds a humongous embroidery arm on it. That's a whole nother demonstration, which I know we need to do more of those, and I'm planning on doing it soon because there's so much cool features out there, and it's when you're in the shop, it's hard to. There's just a lot, you know, and it's like you don't know what you don't know. So I'm excited to really start doing some tutorial videos. I think that's everything. I've talked way too long. All right. Floor is yours. What would you like to talk about?
Today we're going to talk about the back of your quilt. And so what we have hanging over here is the back of a quilt. Now, to me, the most perfect backing on a quilt is minky. And I'll show you that. And I'll tell you why. One is because if you're giving your quilt to somebody and you're not sure they're going to like it or not, put minky on the back and they'll love it. It's all you need. That's one reason. The other reason
it makes it super soft.
It's soft. You don't need to use batting, although I will admit I always do use batting on with minky. But the quilting on it is, you just see the quilting so beautifully on minky. So that not only is the front interesting, but the back is interesting too, because you can just see the texture in your quilting and it just looks beautiful.
Does that camera pick that up?
Yeah,
Can you see
yes.
good? Okay, cool.
So I love putting minky on the back, you know, and everybody says, well, you know, it's Florida. It doesn't get that cold here. But you know, you're in the house with air conditioning on and it gets a little
I'm wearing
chilly.
a sweater this morning. I
Josh
still have
has a
shorts on,
sweater.
but you're right. Crank the AC up so you can use your minky quilt.
Well, you don't even have to do that. I mean, I use mine not all year long, but most of the year. And the winters do get a little chilly.
Yeah.
The other thing that it's so it's really nice for that. It's really great on baby quilts. And a lot of times if I have somebody that I'm making a baby quilt for, I'll make it extra large and I'll put the minky on the back. So when the mom is up at night nursing the baby, she has this nice blanket to put around her and the baby that's soft and cuddly. And it's like an extra warm hug for her as well as the baby. Now, I will say I'm not crazy about the bubble minky. You don't get the same definition of your quilting. However, babies really like that. Babies are very tactile and they love that bumpy feeling to it. So if you're making something, you know, like some people do little burp rags or little things that the babies can put their heads on, and they love to have this up against their face. So it does have a place.
Charles says, is there a lot of lint with minky?
There are ways of dealing with that. Usually what I do is I will throw the minky in the dryer for 5 minutes, and that's kind of seals off the edge, and so that you don't have any dust. So like if you look at this right now, this was quilted, and you really don't have anything coming off the edges. Now, the other thing you can do is there is a website that talks about it's done by the Cuddle people, and they talk about the different types of minky and how you can cut it to diminish the amount of lint and fuzz that you get coming off it. Now minky is not for every quilt.
So Shar, I went and grabbed this because I just had this conversation on Saturday with people. When you cut it, it's fuzzy.
Yes.
And so they said, do you have a vacuum that is good for my sewing area? She uses a lot of minky, she said, and she just wanted something small. And I said, I do. We're out of stock. If you saw us at the quilt show in Jacksonville, we sold out of these. This is the vacuum for that. It's awesome. It comes with a bunch of small attachments. I've been meaning to keep mentioning it. I've got more on order. So amazing Christmas gifts, by the way.
Does it have an extension off of here, or is this?
No, it does. In fact, you put little attachments on it. You can do crevice tool, dust brush. But the idea, it was actually made originally for like your cars, but people don't have plugs, you know.
Yeah, you have to run one of those orange cords
Yeah,
from inside
and in
your
Florida,
house.
hello, we don't have cars in garages.
Yeah,
Like
that's
we
true.
just don't have space for that, right?
It's-
But this is an amazing little vacuum for your sewing area because it's small, but it's powerful.
Mhm.
And she was worried also, is it going to suck up my fabric? Well, technically it has enough suction where if your fabric is super loose, one layer,
Mhm.
it could suck in. It's not going to like eat the whole fabric, but it could
Mhm.
suck in the tip. But I mean, that's good. You want enough fabric to get all that fuzz. So
So does it have a little bag in there? Or what does it?
no, it's actually bagless. And I'm not usually a proponent of bagless vacuums, but little stick vacuums and mini vacuums,
Mhm.
forget a bag. So it's just an open,
Ah,
and so all your fuzz goes in there and you just dump it out.
oh, cool.
And this is a filter
Mhm.
because our health is important.
Good to know.
But truthfully, I love this
Chuck, I'd
vacuum.
like one of these for Christmas.
And the ones we are getting in are white, actually, which is much prettier.
Okay.
So
All right.
thank you, Shar. I was like, oh my gosh, I just talked about
Has
this.
the answer for it.
I do, yes.
Okay, so the next thing that's nice if you're doing a back is just the extra wide backing. And the nice thing about the extra wide, first of all, one of the things I think is really important is when you're choosing your backing, don't go into the really, don't go into the. You can go into the discount area of your quilt store, but don't just pick out anything. Don't say, okay, this is $2 a yard, and I'm going to use this. Pick out something that's going to really complement the front of your quilt or be interesting, because most quilts don't just hang on a wall. They're on a bed or someplace where they get used, so people see not only the front but they see the back as well. So you want it to be interesting. So this is a quilt that is just an average quilt on the front.
I remember the average.
So it's an average quilt on the front, but when you turn it around, it's kind of exciting.
How fun. I love this quilt, by the way. There's nothing average about it, but yeah, that's cool. What a difference.
Yeah, it just makes something that's exciting on the back. Let's say you've got it on a bed and you have a guest come in and they go to get into bed and they look at this and they say, oh, wow, isn't that cool? That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I agree. The backing, even on like wall hangings, like quilts that are art, you know what I mean, that you're not going to put on the bed. The back, somebody's going to, well, all of you quilters, what's the first thing you do?
Back. Oh, yeah.
Nobody looks at the back. Everybody looks at the back.
Yeah. And you can do, if you want to do like a lot of times for quilts that I'm going to donate, I'll put muslin or plain white on the back. But if I do that, what I do is, because I have a long arm and I can, I'll use a different color thread on the back so that the thread makes it interesting. It's a plain backing, but between the design on the of the quilting and the different color, it makes it more interesting and it gives you a little bit of interest on the back.
Absolutely. So like sometimes actually when you want to grab the Bigfoot, and I know it is the same color on the back, but it's still, yeah. But so a lot of times, like shout out to Debbie, you want to showcase the quilting. So this was custom quilting. This is a Bigfoot quilt. And so her quilting pattern is the Bigfoot with Bigfoot in the middle. I don't know if you guys could see that.
Yeah,
you can.
You can?
you can.
Okay.
Because I didn't see it before, but there's a footprint here.
And
It's
inside
kinda
the
cool.
footprint is Bigfoot.
Mhm.
See a silhouette?
Yeah.
It's great. And so we were like, oh yeah, something. I mean, she knocked it out of the park, but I love, like, I would want to show the back of that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now
so
it'd
that's
be
what
cool
I'm
if it
thinking
was
about.
on this. I'll be honest with you. I knew she was doing this. I probably would have said use like a black even, so you
Mhm.
could see it.
Might have pulled through.
But the front would have. I wouldn't want black on the front.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I love this quilt. But
So-
yeah, you want to showcase the quilting.
Yeah, so that makes it that quilting has made that plain back very interesting and fun,
Yeah.
and something fun to look at. So this particular quilt here, it's the front of it. This is all fabric left over from the front, and one of my favorite backings, because I don't know about you, but I always have too much fabric, but so I'll cut a strip that's 10.5 inches wide. And then I cut that into four squares. And then I just it's kind of like a back. it's kind of like another quilt. It's pretty simple, but I just take all my leftover fabric and cut it into 10.5-inch squares and put that together and make it the back of my quilt. So it makes, I have one quilt that I gave away, and I had this on the back. And the woman who I gave it to sent me a picture of the quilt on her bed, and she said, "I just love this quilt," and it was this side.
It's reversible.
The other quilt was
Hey.
really pretty.
That's funny.
So anyway,
That's
sometimes
funny.
when you make a quilt that you just really like and maybe is a little special, and this was a quilt that I made a long time ago, and it was kind of special to me. And so, but I wanted it to have a back that was special as well. So I made,
Which one is the back? I can't tell.
turn it around.
Is this the back right here?
This is the back.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
took a lot of the leftover fabric, cut it into squares, and then surrounded that with just the white fabric and made it kind of little, what is this?
Oh, the churn dash?
The churn dash edges. So it gives you a two-sided quilt essentially, but it gives you a pretty back also, something that's interesting.
I love
Really
that.
cool.
And I was telling Tony, like, I like the modern stuff, but even if you put just, if you can't find the right 108, you need to piece the fabric together. I
Yes.
like it when it's all solid, except maybe one strip, all center,
Mhm.
top, bottom, just to break it up
Mhm.
and incorporate some of the color from the front to the,
That's right.
I love that.
Yeah, and
And
if
it can be simple. Sorry.
it can be simple. And one of the things that you can use, I have found that as I look at a lot of the modern quilts, I'm not a big modern quilt person, although there's some that I really love. But a lot of those modern quilts, if you look at them, they would make great backs for a quilt. Great ideas for piecing together some of your leftover pieces to make kind of an interesting quilt. And it will change. It will give you a little bit different change from the front, but it's interesting. And for me, that's what I'm looking for, something that's interesting. Now, the other thing that's always a good idea is to take a piece of, to go and to find enough fabric enough regular width fabric that will go, that there's enough of to make for your back. And usually what I do is I take
Am I in your way?
I'll take the bolt of fabric, I lay it across the quilt like this so that there's 4 inches extra on each side. I double that. I cut it down the side. I double it so it's folded over like this. I cut it down the side and then sew the two salvages together. And as long as you have a quilt that's less than 80 inches long, it works. And you don't have to figure it out. However, there are lots of books and there's things online where you can go and say, okay, my quilt is 70 inches by 90 inches. How much fabric do I need? And you just put in your information. It'll tell you what you need. And it'll show you different ways of putting it together.
Yeah, we have those little cheater quilt books up
Yes.
there. We can't keep them in stock. They're great though.
Mhm.
I mean, some people like there's the Robert Kaufman app that's
Right.
really cool.
Mhm.
But honestly, sometimes that little pocket book is a lot faster, and
Yes.
so
Yeah, and I should have brought one up. I should have brought one to show you. Josh does keep those. They tell you about your backing, but they also tell you all kinds of other information. They're a
Binding.
great little book. How much binding you need, how many. It just all kinds of information. It's very handy. You can stick it in your purse, and you've always got it when you're out shopping.
yep.
Let's see, just as an added on the Minky comes. Josh doesn't carry Minky.
I have a little bit.
He has a little bit, and he's
But-
got some really neat pieces.
You guys don't buy it.
I've made it my goal to get people to use Minky. So Josh will bring in some nice Minky, so I don't have to go to Joann's to buy it.
Yeah, amen. Well, and I'm happy to do it. Truthfully, in fact, I ordered a couple, and I was like, man, these are so pretty. It's so cute. But I think people have that mentality of it's hot, it's floor. I'm not sure what it is, but maybe if you're listening to Joann enough, because it really does it's nice. I love it on the back.
And
Sylvia has been Team Minky,
yeah,
which is great.
yeah, and it takes a little bit of there's a little bit of a learning curve there if you want to quilt your own quilts. But there's tons of tutorials on it. It's easy to find.
I know a teacher.
It's easy to find how to do it easily and make it just something that's really beautiful on the back. But that does come in 60 inches wide. It also comes in 90 inches wide. And there are places you can order it if you order online, if you don't mind ordering online.
Yeah. And in all seriousness, if you guys go on a Minky kick, I'm happy to bring some in. Really. It's not that I'm not anti anything other than wallpaper.
Other than wallpaper.
There's a certain color palette that I don't really see working here, but for the most part, I am an open-minded person.
Wallpaper. Okay, that would never have jumped into my mind.
Well, some of the old, reproduction stuff, I'm not a huge fan of. The floral with the stripes, you know what I mean?
Oh,
it's more of the
yes.
color combinations. I mean, you see what my flavor is. It's pretty bright.
Yes.
And, yeah.
It's really hard. For years and years and years, I worked the quilt store that I was associated with in California was primarily reproduction fabrics.
Wow.
And so I have tons of it. And I love working with it. And I'll try and find something that go with it. It's not going to be found here.
No, I know it's not. And it's,
I try
no
so
offense
hard.
to anyone who loves the Civil War reproduction stuff. There is totally a market for it. I have found it's not really Florida so much.
It is not a Florida thing.
Which I'm happy about, to be honest with you. But yeah, everybody's got their own flavor, their own taste. And there are places in Florida that have much more traditional options. So, and I encourage you to go there.
Yeah.
So,
and I'll tell you, if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to make this beautiful quilt that's in reproduction fabrics and I'm going to put it in the quilt show and maybe it'll win a prize. Not in Florida.
Yeah, it's a little bit different audience, right?
It's know your audience.
Happen. Yeah. Okay, so I love that. Make your back interesting.
Make your back interesting, exactly.
Yeah.
And you want to, every step of making a quilt should be something that you put a lot of thought into, whether it's the front of it and how you put your, what your design on the front. You're not finished when the front is done. You still have the back, you still have the binding, you still have to think about what your batting choices are and how that's going to influence what you're using. And so every step should be something that you put thought into.
Yeah, you've made this gorgeous quilt. We'll finish strong.
That's right.
Don't just throw something on the back because I'm like, all right, I'm done. No, finish strong.
Finish strong. That's a great way of thinking about it.
Speaking of beautiful things, hey Carla, we have. Is it on the calendar yet? Her the Deanna and Carla. Okay, so be on the lookout for a charitable paint party with Carla and Deanna. I'm horrible. I can't remember the date. It is an evening.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday in the evening. Be on the lookout. It's a wonderful cause and with amazing people. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye out for that. And hi, Sandra. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Becky. Char loves hers. If you make fleece blankets, the Minky is even less warm. Interesting.
You have to be there on the fleece blankets. You have to be kind of careful with those because one of the things that you're looking for is the stretch. And Minky will stretch in one direction, which means in the other direction it's stable. A lot of the fleece blankets stretch in every direction. That's going to make it really difficult for you to get it quilted really nicely. It's very difficult to control the stretch on that when you can't see it because it's on the back.
If you have a stitch regulator, it would probably make it easier.
Apparently the stitch regulator.
You too can quilt Minky. No, all right, cool. We have gone almost an hour. Deanna, perfect timing. Hey, Deanna, if you don't mind, and Carla, if you don't mind, even in the comments, throw a little, if you have a link, that would be awesome. I know it's for Alzheimer's awareness. I don't want to butcher by describing it wrong. So please put some information there, and we're gonna help push that because amazing people, amazing cause. Dress a Girl this Saturday. Whoop whoop. Black Friday starts today. Who knew? Last year we did a Purple Monday. I was like, I'm gonna confuse people with all this. Let's just do Black Friday sales start early. Keep it simple, stupid, right?
Purple Monday.
We were clever. Instead of a Black Friday, we did Purple Monday.
Is that the Cyber Monday?
No, it was the Monday before.
Oh, okay. Purple Monday. Okay.
Hey, today's Purple Monday. Black Friday sale started. We'll leave it at that. Keep it
Okay.
simple. And sign up for classes. Hey, Joann. Bye, Joann. All right. Live to create. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
All right. You guys have an
Finish
amazing day. Yeah, that's right. Finish strong. I like that. I like that better too.